The infamous YG leaker could have dropped some useful and juicy info that we actually wanted, like the truth behind rumored Jimin x Junghyun beef. But instead, they reignited the same tired discourse, K-pop idols, and the N-word. And now, with fans clashing across timelines, one question keeps popping up: does K-pop have a racism problem? Well, honestly, it depends on who you're asking, but we'll get to that later. Let's look at the events that led to this whole mess. It all started on March 30th when a YouTube channel called Kim Mi-hyun Productions dropped a bombshell. Pre-debut videos of Blackpink's Jennie, Lisa, and Rosé performing song covers from their trainee days. But it wasn't just the leak that got people talking, it was what those songs included. And no, we're not talking about just any lyrics. The N-word is in there, and to make matters worse, the girls don't skip over it. These videos were allegedly from YG Entertainment's internal evaluations. Some fans have rushed to their defense, arguing it was a different time and that everyone on YouTube was saying it back then, but others, they're not letting it slide that easily, especially since Jennie and Rose grew up in Australia and New Zealand. People are asking, how could they not know better? After all, these idols have built their careers around a persona influenced by Black culture, and the controversy doesn't stop there. Fans aren't just questioning the girls, they're calling out YG Entertainment, asking why the company had them rapping songs with racial slurs in the first place. One tweet summed it up perfectly. Why were they making young girls rap this stuff? Who was approving this in the first place? Here's where things get even more interesting. The person behind the leaks claimed to be a former YG employee who was fired, and they're on a mission. On Discord, this person allegedly claimed to have 1 terabyte of sensitive content from not just YG, but also SM, Hype, and JYP. They even hinted at being the same person who exposed the photos of BTS's V and Jennie a while back. Naturally, not everyone is buying this. Some fans are questioning why a YG employee would have dirt on every major company in K-pop. So far, there has been no response from Blackpink or YG Entertainment, but fans aren't letting them off the hook that easily. Some have pointed out that Jennie apologized for a much smaller issue, vaping indoors. If she can apologize for that, why not apologize for using a racial slur? And just when you thought things couldn't get more chaotic, enter Kiss of Life, trending not for their music but for all the wrong reasons. 2 separate racism controversies in the same week? That's not just messy, it's starting to feel like a pattern. Kiss of Life is a rookie girl group on the rise, but on April 2nd, things took an awkward turn when a fun birthday livestream turned into a PR nightmare. The members wore outfits and hairstyles tied to Black culture, cornrows, bantu knots, and oversized chains, all complete with exaggerated speech and mannerism. One member even called herself Little Taco Bell, while dressed in cholo-inspired fashion, so of course it didn't take long for screenshots and clips to go viral. Within 24 hours, SU Entertainment released an official apology. The statement claimed the livestream was meant to celebrate hip-hop culture, but they did admit their failure to consider its cultural implications. However, not everyone was convinced because the apology didn't come directly from the members. It failed to address the Black or Latino communities specifically, and the vague wording seemed to deflate blame onto viewers instead of taking responsibility. And then, to nobody's surprise, Kiss of Life lost over 8,000 followers on Twitter, 80,000 on Instagram, and 100,000 on TikTok in just days. Major fan accounts that were once dedicated to promoting every comeback shut down entirely. The damage was done, and the apology wasn't enough to repair it. To make matters worse, this isn't Kiss of Life's first time in the spotlight for such an issue. Last year, Julie faced backlash for rapping along to a song that included the N-word, which she later apologized for. Fans accepted her apology because she took responsibility, but this live stream, it's harder to overlook, especially considering that Julie grew up in Hawaii and ballet is American. Fans argued that they should have known better, and that's the core of the issue. This isn't just about Kiss of Life or Blackpink. It's about a deeper, recurring problem within the K-pop industry. It's ongoing struggle with racism. At this point, the pattern is all too familiar. Problematic content leads to backlash, which leads to a vague apology, and then it's business as usual. But people are growing tired, especially Black and Latino fans who have supported these artists from day one. And this isn't just a rookie or a girl group problem. It spread throughout the industry. Take Lee Youngji, for example. Back in 2020, she was criticized for performing Taiga's Ay Macarena on Mnet's Good Girl, clearly saying the N-word during her rap. She issued apologies in both 2020 and 2021, but in 2023, a moment from her talk show Nothing Much Prepared sparked renewed concern. Fans questioned whether she had truly learned from her past or if this was just more surface-level damage control. Then there's Crush, the soloist who faced backlash during the 2022 Someday Pleroma Festival. While high-fiving fans in the crowd, he appeared to avoid Black fans altogether, something that was quickly called out as discriminatory. Crush responded by saying his actions were due to COVID-19 safety precautions, not racial bias. But for many fans, the damage was already done. It reinforced concerns about how Black fans are treated at K-pop events. Red Velvet's Wendy has also found herself in controversy more than once. She's been accused of mocking Black culture through exaggerated speech patterns, gestures, and caricature-like behavior. During a concert, fans even shouted "racist" from the audience in the protest. Yet, Wendy has never made a personal statement addressing any of it. Even Mamamoo in 2017 came under fire for wearing dark makeup while covering Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk, a performance many called out as blackface. Although they apologized and admitted the act was disrespectful, the incident still remains one of the most widely cited examples of cultural insensitivity in K-pop. But what's even more concerning is the response, or rather the lack of response, from both fans and the industry following the recent K-pop N-word controversy. Video clips are circulating, revealing some of the biggest names in K-pop caught using the N-word, along with instances of blackface. Yet instead of outrage or accountability, there's silence, excuses, and in some cases, outright mockery. Yes, we're talking about certain non-Black fans gaslighting Black fans into believing they shouldn't be offended by their favorites using the N-word. It's a known fact that K-pop has been profiting off Black culture for years. The music, the style, the slang, all consumed when it's convenient. But when it's time to speak out against the harm caused, suddenly it's just music, just a joke, or Western artists do it too? And how can anyone ignore the role of the fans? These are the same people who claim to protect their idols from disrespect, yet when it comes to this issue, they either defend their favorites or stay silent to avoid ruining the vibe. That silence sends a clear message to Black K-pop fans. Their culture is only celebrated when it's up for consumption. But the worst part is the way some fans have turned this into a competition. That whole argument of only one member of my group said it, but your favorite said it 3 times, when in reality, the issue isn't about how many times the N-word was said. It's that it was said at all. By defending these actions or minimizing their impact, fans contribute to a larger culture of deflection and denial. And when they cherry pick, when Black culture is worthy of appreciation, they don't just ignore the problem, they become part of it. Then come the excuses, but English isn't their first language, is Blink's favorite deflection tactic these days. Despite the fact that artists like Rosé, who grew up in Australia and speaks English fluently, are among those involved, the silence from agencies like YG Entertainment only deepens the problem. Time and time again, YG has faced similar controversies and consistently failed to take meaningful action. When a member of their rookie group used the N-word, the company briefly pulled them from public appearances, only to quietly reintroduce them once the backlash died down. The truth is, idols can do better, and some have. RM is a clear example. He took the time to learn about Black culture, reflected on his past actions, and made genuine changes. Many idols have lived or are currently living abroad. They understand the weight of the N-word. Claiming ignorance just doesn't hold up anymore. In the end, the responsibility also lies with fans. If they truly care about the artist and the culture they claim to love, They need to demand better and make it clear that racism in any form will not be tolerated. This isn't about canceling idols or nitpicking every mistake, it's about recognizing a pattern and holding people accountable. That's the only way K-pop's racism problem will be solved. So what do you think? Will K-pop ever truly address its ongoing issues with racism, or will the vague apologies continue? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Noona-K for more.